Why? Why did I do this to myself? I think I was sitting here the other day and I realized that I never watched Boo 2 A Madea Halloween, the sequel to Boo. And because it's my 31 days of horror movie reviews, and it's the last day of said horror reviews, so it's officially Halloween. I did it to myself. I know, there's nobody to blame but me. But I can also blame this fucking movie for existing to even give me the idea to watch it. This is a 2017 film, and it is, of course, written, produced, and directed by Tyler Perry. I spent so much time watching for the first time every Madea movie ever. And I stopped before this film because I figured I'd save it for one of these situations. But since I have seen all of them, it's crazy how lazy this one is in particular. Even though I didn't care for the first Boo movie, I think it was better written, if I should say, a better plot, maybe more creative than the bullshit that's going on in this sequel. Tyler Perry, I've talked about this a bunch of times because he does it a bunch of times where he plays multiple characters. And this Brian character, who's the father of the girl, he's so boring. He's so just, hey, I'm just a normal, everyday, nice guy. And I always thought when it comes to this character, because this character pops up a lot in these movies, if this was played by a more capable actor, an actor that can maybe pull off some one-liners or improvise, way better. There's a whole lot of improv going on throughout this movie. You can tell it's painfully obvious over certain things being repeated or over certain things that are supposed to be comedy beats, but they sort of ramble and go on and on. But I think the Brian character needs to be played by whether it's Eddie Murphy or whether it's somebody who can make the serious stuff and the comedic stuff work simultaneously. I don't think Tyler Perry is the type of actor, if he's even an actor. I will give him credit though when he is the character of Joe. I do find him amusing. I do. Even if I don't laugh throughout the entire film, which I didn't, I laughed once, and I can't believe the moment when I laughed. But the entire movie, I didn't laugh. I'm sort of just sitting there. And maybe the character of Joe made me smirk, right? Like slightly amusing when he's going off about how he used to be a pimp and he's talking trash and saying things that are super inappropriate and probably close to pushing the line of the PG-13 rating that this has. And weirdly enough, the Madea character is sort of just here. She's not her usual typical over-the-top, I'm gonna try to come in and tell a speech or bring someone to church or be outrageous. It seemed like there was a lot of other stuff going on around her. And so, yeah, it was weird. Like, let's see Madea react to horror-related stuff. Well, we did that the first movie. So there's not a lot. Admittedly, probably even Tyler Perry would say he didn't know what to do with the Madea character. You have the usual side characters like Aunt Bam, who is just here, and Hattie. I need to mention this Hattie character because I have not found her as annoying as I did in this film. I mean, I've probably found her annoying before, but you don't know annoying until you watch this Hattie character yelling and screaming and carrying on when all of the horror stuff or the scary moments are supposed to happen. She's so over the top. She's so cartoony, flailing her arms around, screaming, and it's just, shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, you're not funny. You're not, like, you dancing as an older woman is not funny or entertaining or, you know, you did it 3 or 4 times beforehand already. Can we do something different? Can we do something new? Can we have new type of jokes here? But no, it's the same actors and same characters each and every time, so we just kind of repeat the same jokes over and over again. The daughter, Tiffany, the actress is fine, right? She's whatever. She just turns 18, and so that's why I'm saying nothing against the actress. It's just this character is so annoying and so hateable, so unlikable, how much she's an asshole to her father. And I thought we already went through this in the first movie where she did the same exact thing, and then by the end of it, she learned her lesson. Oh, I'm gonna be good now. And just a year later, she's even more a bitch, I would argue. And I'm not saying that kids aren't gonna maybe learn a lesson or say that they're changed and then just go right back to repeat. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but when you're watching it, it's not entertaining. It's not amusing to see an annoying character like that. You have her friend Gabriella, who's probably the only decent actress out of the younger cast, where she's trying to tell her constantly, like, we shouldn't go to this lake. This is a bad idea. Something might happen. We're lying to our parents. I don't want to do this. And Tiffany just ignores her. Oh, don't worry about it. You're coming. Oh, it's fine. It'll be fine. You're going to come. I'm just like, ugh. You have somebody, your friend, your best friend, explaining to you why this is all bad, and you just don't care. So why should I care? We get introduced to Tiffany's mother, somebody that Brian is not with anymore. You don't really know why they broke up. You just kind of get the impression that they just, I don't know. Because the mother just doesn't seem like she cares, right? Like everything that Brian says to the daughter, don't do that. Literally 2 seconds later, the mother's like, oh no, it's okay. I say it's okay. Even though she left, the daughter's not living with the mom. The daughter lives with the father. And the mother has only like recently come into her life, so I don't know why the mother is able to get the say or override anything. The Tyler Perry character just sort of allows it to happen, even though he's complaining about it. It's just unnecessary conflict, unnecessary bullshit, and I don't really care. You have these college guys who are the same guys from the last movie that Tiffany and the other girls are interested in. And I had the same thought back then, but it was even more so now. How old all of these college guys looked. I mean, they all looked 35 to 40 years old. They even make a joke where one of the college guys says to the friends, what are you doing? You're 40 years old, graduate already. And I'm like, funny, sure, sure. But you look 42, bro. Like, what? Really? And yeah, they're as old as they are, hitting on 18-year-olds. It's pretty creepy, pretty gross. I mentioned the Tiffany having a best friend character. Well, the best friend's father is played by Tito Ortiz. Why? Why is Tito Ortiz in this movie? Is Tyler Perry a big UFC fan? Did he run into him at some party and say, hey, I'm going to put you in my next movie? And so he shoved him into this? Because Tito Ortiz is not a good actor. And all of the moments that he has in this film just come off as awkward and weird as fuck. I don't know. The whole thing revolves around this Halloween party that's taking place at this lake, and it's haunted because I guess there was murders or something happened there, and they thought that the killers maybe died, but they've never found their bodies, so they could still be around the woods. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's the biggest, laziest version of a scary campfire story I've ever heard. And when you get to the actual killers, when you get to the actual what's going on when people are getting taken and disappearing, it's so silly. And I know it's a comedy, so I'm not saying that. It's just, it feels like a big waste of time. When you get to the end, you think, why did I even bother to watch an hour and a half of this bullshit? And it amazes me. I'm not trying to be a hater because I do commend Tyler Perry at his success, at his ability to be able to make these very low budget films and make a profit off of them. And he's been doing it for decades at this point. I commend the guy. I just wish that he cared more about the quality. I wish that he cared more about getting better writers, getting maybe actual comedy guy to come in and spice up some of these jokes. There are clearly people who do enjoy Tyler Perry Madea movies, and the fan base, I guess, doesn't care. They're not asking for better like I am. So, fuck this movie. That's what I've been trying to say this entire time. Fuck Boo 2, a Madea Halloween. Thankfully, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I'm done with Madea films. I think this is the last one that I ever had to watch. Oy, this was brutal. I had such an indifferent, blank expression on my face the entire time. Oh, I should mention. So I did admit that I laughed once. I didn't laugh throughout the entire film. It was during the credits when they show the bloopers, and I know that's such a lame, cheap way to try to appear like, oh, isn't our movie funny? Look at these bloopers in the credits. Tons of comedies have done it. But there's one blooper where Tyler Perry as Joe is talking to Madea. I mean, they're both Tyler Perry. But he has a moment, an offhand comment where he looks at Madea and says, you know you look like a man, right? Like, look at you. There's nothing feminine about you whatsoever. And it's Tyler Perry being, self-aware. How many times have we said that Madea looks nothing like a fucking woman and looks like Tyler Perry in drag? And that made me laugh. Like, I actually laughed very hard at that because I wasn't expecting it. It probably should have been in the goddamn movie, but it would not have saved it. So, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of Boo 2. Am I being too harsh? Or do you hate it as well? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Happy Halloween!
Time's changing quickly for me and you. The future's come, it's come for you. The moment upon your very eyes, the life around you are hypnotized. I take my 1,144, hands spread wide open, light up the floor. The things come fast from here on out, no more delay or benefit of doubt. The prophecies, they talk to this time. I've been waiting patiently to bust.